So that's why my book, Carl Winslow, is trash. Now, Uncle Phil, that's a real. Hey, what's up, y'all? Jen here, and welcome to Retro Black Nostalgia. Finally, finally, finally! Oh, thank you for stopping by. Finally decided, why not have this stuff on YouTube? Because all those little short clips, it's cool, but we need to get down to the nitty gritty of a lot of these TV shows and movies. So, buckle up. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and do all the things. Because I want y'all to come back. We cousins.
We're living that retro black nostalgia.
Turn it up.
Tune and feel the culture. Millennial magic, we keep it alive.
Welcome to the spot where the good vibes thrive.
Oh yes, the vibe. Oh yes, the vibe. Retro black nostalgia. We keep it alive. Oh yeah.
So, today's episode, we talking about one of the most trash fathers, probably one of the only trash fathers on TV. I know, people will argue me down. And I know we are so connected to our nostalgia, but everything wasn't good. And sometimes when you get older, you realize these things. So this is a Family Matters episode of Good Cop, Bad Cop. This is the episode of where Eddie gets assaulted by the cops, and he tries to tell Carl, and Carl is kind of like iffy about it, I guess because Eddie lies a lot. But I just feel like in this kind of situation, let's watch the episode.
Man, it's good to see Eddie smiling again. He's been bummed for weeks about his speeding ticket.
It's always gonna be Waldo. I don't know why he stayed friends with him.
Speeding ticket?
I don't know what he's talking about, Dad. I didn't get
It was
a
going
speeding
so
ticket.
good.
Edward, this is your second speeding ticket this year, and it's only February. Okay, listen up. Now, it's bad enough that you were driving recklessly, but what's even worse is that you tried to hide it from me.
But, Dad,
No buts, Edward. Now, if you get one more ticket, your license is suspended for 1 year.
that's not the law in this state.
But it's the law in this house.
Damn. I mean, that's fair because I'm sure that Carl is the one paying for the tickets.
What's the matter? I got pulled over by the cops.
Did you get a ticket?
Well, yeah, but it wasn't my fault.
No buts, Edward. I warned you. Now, hand over your license.
You're not gonna even hear me out? I was on my way to a party in Burlington.
See,
Heights.
Harriet was
I
more
driving along,
concerned.
minding my own business when the cops pulled me over.
Did they ask you for your license and registration?
Yeah. Then I asked what the problem was, and one of them told me to shut up. Then he made me get out of the car and lie face down. Then he cuffed me.
That's unusual procedure.
Well, duh. That's the issue for me because you see your son come in frantic. It doesn't matter how often he lied or how he used to hide things. If your black son, who lives in Chicago, comes in frantic about a situation with the cops, and you say something like, unless you provoked it, it's crazy. Now, I can understand if it was like something that he dealt with a teacher, but the cops, as a black man, and you know how they can be. Like, that's the thing that gets me. So I'm looking at it like Carl was the type to be a cop first, dad second. That's just how I'm seeing it. So in other words, he's trash.
Son, are you absolutely sure?
Dad, the only reason they pulled me over is because I was a black guy in a white neighborhood.
Carl, this is frightening.
If it happened.
Dad!
Boo!
If it happened, that's a second strike. One, as you can see, even Harriet was like, yo, this is frightening. So how are you not budging? I get not trying to overreact, but you're not a bit concerned about your black son being so frazzled about this? He just told you that they cuffed him. What's not clicking? What's not clicking? If this happened is crazy. I at that point, I'm more upset about how you're handling me in this situation than the traumatic situation I just had.
Well, son, you lied about your last speeding ticket. How do I know that you're not doing it again?
Do you think I would lie about something like this?
Well, I don't know, but I'm gonna check it out.
I hope you do.
Don't worry, Edward, I will.
You know what? I thought what I went through tonight was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But I was wrong. Not having my own father believe me is even worse.
Exactly. Because here's my thing. Whether you're a parent or the child of a parent, Your parent knows like when you're frightened. So whether you are a liar or not, you gonna know when something really happened to your child. Because from what I can remember, and maybe I have to go through the whole series of Family Matters again, I don't remember Eddie doing stuff like this. Right? Like, yeah, he got into trouble and, lies, whatever, a kid. But to like take it to this notch and say something like that, if I were the parent, wouldn't for a second think that my child is lying just to get out of a speeding ticket. Now, here's my other thing, because I know people are like, oh, Eddie used to lie about a lot of things, so, he had to make sure that everything was good. I get that. But I also believe that you know when your child is lying. Not only do you know when your child is lying, if Eddie was the type of kid that lied a lot, why is that? Why do you think children lie? One or the other reason? Sometimes both. Sometimes it's just based off of your surroundings, right? It could be people in your household. They lie, so you start doing it because you see what they could probably get out of it, what the results are. Or you feel the need to lie to your parents because you are probably afraid of them, don't want to disappoint them, because it's usually based off of what happened prior when you told them something. So if you told them something and the result of it was something obviously unfavorable, you're going to start lying. Now, if your parents don't give you this safe space to be truthful, then that's on the parent. Oh, so now he feeling like the big bad wolf. Okay.
Evening, guys.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Sergeant Carl Winslow. And you are?
Kenny. Kenny Carmichael.
You already know which one was the one that did it.
I could sure go for a cruller.
Actually, we were just leaving.
Oh.
Oh, now you're just leaving.
I'll have a cruller, please, and a cup of coffee. Black.
Black.
Say, did you happen to pull
They already guilty.
over Monaco? The driver was a black teenager.
Yeah. Ran a stop sign.
It was failure to
Liar.
Whatever. Who are you, the activist on the force?
No, I'm a father on the force.
Wouldn't you have already thought that that was the father?
Look,
And now they feel stupid.
I can see you being upset and all, but hey, it was your kid that messed up, so don't try and take it out on me, all right?
No, it's not all right. And do you know why it's not all right, Evans? Because I think that you rousted my son.
No way. He fit the description of a carjacker we've been looking for.
That will not cut, Evans.
Hold on. Hold on. I feel like he had to be so careful with that chair. He didn't want to fling it. I feel like that would have really sold it, though. He should have flung the chair. I don't know. That's just me. But it was just so very well, like, placed. Let's move on.
And not one suspect even remotely resembles my son.
Come on, give me a break. It's dark. It's a black guy.
It's a black guy. Why did he say it like that?
Fine. Your kid was in the wrong part of town.
The wrong part of town?
Yeah.
Oh, so what are you saying? That black kids aren't allowed in white neighborhoods?
Come on.
You know exactly what he's saying. See, that alone would have me doing the most. Because not only did you harass my son, but now you're being blatantly racist. You actually don't care.
Is that why you forced him to lie down? Is that why you cuffed him?
Here you go.
Gotta break it up.
I've had enough of this.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not finished with you yet, Evans.
Look, Sarge, if your son had just told us he was a cop's kid, it would have been no problem.
So what are you saying? That you only harass black
That's
kids
not how
because
this works.
parents aren't cops?
I didn't say that.
You didn't have to say that.
Literally.
Because the point is that you two harassed my son because he's black.
You can't prove that.
But I can file a complaint
Ooh.
that I'm gonna be sure that there is an investigation.
Well, go ahead. It's our word against your kids. Bye.
Yo, he reminds me a lot of Trump, of how he talks.
I don't know how that badge stays on because it's pinned to slime.
Okay.
Do you like being a cop?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Yeah, I just thought I might make a difference, you know? Good guys against the bad guys.
Just one problem, son. Your partner is one of the bad guys.
In other words, Molly, you in danger, girl. See, and now you got to decide whether or not you want to be paired up with somebody like that because they either going to either one, get you killed, or two, you're going to end up being just like them. I feel like that's how they're built. But I feel like a lot of cops, actually, I'm going to leave this to my final thought. See, he's traumatized. Can't even think.
Hello, son.
Look, he coming over here looking like Boo Boo the Fool.
You know, I tracked down those cops that pulled you over. And I had a little chat with them. And you were right, son. They did.
I bet.
I told you, Dad.
Son, it's not that I didn't believe you, but I am a cop. I had to check it out for myself.
I don't know about y'all. Let me know. Did y'all hear him say sorry at all? Like, yeah, he said you were right, which he knows he was right. But is there an apology somewhere in your pocket, in your holster?
First thing tomorrow, we'll go down and we'll file a complaint.
A complaint?
That's my
Those
reaction.
guys should be arrested, or worse.
Now, Edward.
Dad, I'll never forget what they did to me.
This man is
They treated me
hurt.
like an animal.
Son, try to calm down.
What?
Calm down. How do I calm down, Dad? How do I do that when I'm so angry inside?
Edward.
Bro, for you to put your hand on my shoulder and say, just calm down. Nah, no, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. Because what? See, it's one thing when somebody tell you to calm down and when you're having an argument, but you just told your father that you got harassed by the cops and he tells you just calm down. Like, I would want to smack you now. Now we got to throw hands because what? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Like, that's strike number 3. That is the third red flag.
This has happened to me. I've been there. But there are 2 ways to deal with anger. You can hold on to it and let it eat your way inside, or you can give that anger a voice and try to make a difference. Now, that's why I became a cop.
We'll go file that complaint.
That's heartbreaking. Because it seems as though he's defeated. That whole, like, I guess ain't nothing else we could do. Right? Like, now at this point, I could just tell he feels powerless. And this is the point that I wanted to bring up from earlier. Especially just now, Carl was like, it happened to me too. And if you guys remember, a couple of seasons later, Eddie becomes a cop. So in my eyes, hurt people, right? So if you've ever felt powerless before and you see who took your power, aka in his instance, a cop, well, I see that they're the ones with the power, so I'm going to become a cop. Because a couple seasons later, he ended up joining the force. So I feel like that's the same with Carl because he said, oh, that happened to me too. So it's like, okay, well, let me go and do unto others what has been done to me because that can kind of satisfy your traumas. And that's so unfortunate. This was like the moment that Eddie was like, you know what? If I can't do nothing about it, I'm just going to go ahead and become a cop myself so I can have power over other people and I can be in a position of power.
Glad to hear you say that, son.
I really hate that it ended like this. Like, this is complete trash. Like, Carl is complete trash, and honestly, the writers did him dirty. But I guess you have to like have different types of dads on display on TV because these kind of dads absolutely exist. Like, that is like my biggest strife with this whole Carl thing with this good cop, bad cop episode. Okay, cool. Yes, Eddie lies or not. Great. Again, he's a kid. He's a teenager. But in the moment, even if you feel like your child is lying, in a situation like that, it's just not the time. There's a time and place for everything. Or there's just better questions that you could ask. You're a cop, right? You know how to ask questions. So why, when it comes to your son, instead of you being supportive, you're being accusatory? Like, that doesn't help the situation at all. So I say all this to say Carl Winslow would never be, just based off of this episode alone, and honestly, he just never was like a top tier dad to me, but he's definitely not on the list of my favorite and best TV dads. Not at all. He just never, I don't know, it never gave anything, to be honest. Now, Uncle Phil, that's a so y'all let me know how y'all feel about Carl Winslow in totality and Carl Winslow specifically in this episode. Again, handling the situation was okay, I feel, because I know people are like, well, what else you want him to do? I feel like he probably could have done more than just file a complaint. And it's not so much like, oh, he should be angry, like he should act like no, that's not even where I'm going with it. Because I think he did enough in that aspect, but I don't know. Is that the only thing that one can do is file a complaint? Again, my biggest thing is just really how Carl handled Eddie in the moment, how he handled his feelings in the moment. Like at this point, like he said, I'm like more traumatized by how you're responding to me than what just happened to me. And parents don't realize that sometimes they add more trauma to a traumatic event you've already had. So that's why in my book, Carl Winslow is trash. So y'all let me know what y'all think about Carl Winslow in this episode and just Carl Winslow as a TV dad in general. Like, was he ever on like your top fave TV dads that you looked up to that you thought was a dope dad, or you just never really even gave it any thought? Because there was nothing that stood out to him that you're like, wow, that's admirable. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Until next time, this is Retroback Nostalgia signing out.
Da, da, da.